morning, judges. Well, Jobhack might be able to help some of the people that are on the hours shift work to get full-time career jobs. The vision for our organisation comes from a lifetime of professional development and continuous learning and using tools to help you along that journey. And the original vision from Mentor Advice was considered to be too big for the scope of the weekend, which was 2 days. So we refined it back to, instead of looking at a lifetime of experience and helping people create portfolios, we refined it back to let's start with the graduates who are starting on their journey of a lifetime of career development and potentially changing careers 6 or 7 times along that pathway. And we refined the problem to be two major problems. One, the graduate trying to find the job of their desire and create a CV that's fit for purpose to enable that to happen. And two, we came across corporate employers who say that they find it difficult to find the right candidates and make the fit happen. So we went to the market and we asked some job seekers, graduate job seekers, whether or not we were right around our thinking, and they agreed with us. And some of the things they came back, we got some really good feedback back from the survey, that said, I feel like sometimes I send my CV off and it goes into a black hole and I hear nothing back from the job application afterwards, and this was repeated several times. So our proposition is to help them to make that transition, basically to help them sell themselves from their CV to actually nail the job. And the process with which we'll do that is, it looks a little bit like this. So the student enters a process, essentially putting your CV out there, applying for a job is part of the major recruitment process. And corporate employers, as I'm sure you guys all know, use a competence framework to screen applicants and judge them for interview. And unless you're meeting the criteria in that framework, you're not going to get past screening, and our website helps to do that. So the users come to our website and they're met with the option to upload the CV and upload the job for which they're actually applying. And here's what happens when they're on the site. So they get a comparison. The comparison gives them a match in terms of how their CV matches with the actual job description for which they're applying. So they that match. They then can, information is given in terms of, you see, it's the red go stop system. So it helps them to identify what maybe they should replace in their skill set to help with the job match. And that improves the match. There's then the option to look at the actual job description itself. Go back there. And by identifying someone there, it leads them to the education part of the website. And the education part of the website contains, if you like, the core competencies required for skills development and a successful long-term career. So it helps them to define their own education plan. So one of the things we found was that the skill sets are fine, but their ability to actually communicate what they've done with what they know in terms of their ability to put together their knowledge and their skills is what's lacking. In terms of the marketplace for this, it also, before I move on, that education plan helps them to reflect and engage in critical thinking, which is part of the process of preparing for the interview. So it's part of the actual process of gaining the job. In terms of the size of the marketplace, we just looked at graduates from the Irish and UK market for the purposes of the exercise. 830,000 graduates come out of both jurisdictions each year. If we could capture all of them, that's the size of the pot that we could chase. In terms of the competition that's out there, lots and lots of competition. Everything you could think of, from CV templates, download and fill in the blanks, and that will do, to offline CV advice. People help one-to-one mentoring to help people to create a CV. So how do we fit into all of this? What makes our proposition different is that it is a reflective educational tool. It's not just, I'll do the CV for you, you do your CV. Therefore you own the CV, and it helps you to actually engage in the process that leads you to interview. The business proposition is that the user pays, so it's a freemium to premium product. The first part is free, and then as you engage in the process of education and reflection, you pay for that. We also might partner with universities and colleges or the corporate sector. We reached out to the users, we reached out to some serious influencers in the corporate sector who really liked the idea. What challenges faced us over the weekend, we pivoted more times than I could tell you. We felt like we were trapped in an episode of Strictly Come Dancing. We were moving and shaking so much. What we achieved is we did an awful lot of research, because we started this, we had nothing done. It was an idea that sort of struck, and we ran with it. So there's a huge amount of content. But the passion for it is around the education. It's around being part of this journey, so that you're creating a competence portfolio that you take with you from job to job, and you build on it as you go. That will be the ultimate vision.
And with that, thank you. Passing over to you.
How would you see the business side of it rolling out? I know you probably, I'm just trying to figure out.
A subscription-based, yes, yes.
The user pays. So.
The user pays, or the college might pay. So the college might use it as a tool to take the pressure off their careers office to say, do this first and then come for your one-to-one mentoring once you've been through the process of going through the core skills, core competences, and defining what your own are, what pathway you're on in terms of low levels of it to higher levels of it. Obviously they're graduates, they're not going to be very far along that road. The user pays model, it would be subscription based. So you get the first part free, so you might get the analysis free, the report free, but if you want to do something about it, you pay. I think we had a freemium to premium, so...
And are you restricting yourself just focusing on the graduate market? Because
absolutely, but we did it to keep a focus for 2 days, because we thought if we went bigger, it was too...
Here in terms of getting graduates for, as I would understand it.
Yes and no. Yes and no. A lot of the work that I do is with, they're graduates, but they're older graduates. And there isn't the same level of focus an opportunity for them, if you know what I mean. A lot of them are doing part-time degrees.
It's always harder to get work when you get older.
Yeah, but in fairness, there's a lot more they could be doing to create CVs that are fit for purpose.
So you were honest in saying there's a lot out there in terms of competition.
Huge amount, yeah.
My concern here is how do you get mind share, both with the people that are going to pay, so potentially the graduates, and also then the corporate people, because there's a confusion about so many recruitment agencies, so many people packaging information for you. How are you going to, what kind of money will you need to spend to get people aware of Jobhack?
Well, if we could get the colleges to encourage their students to use the facility, then that's one route to market. The other route to market is, I mean, a lot of corporate employers say that students are not meeting what's required in the professional marketplace, and that there is this lack of competencies. So another route would be that for jobs, for graduate jobs, that they might say, this is before you apply, consider this, so that they're not screening so much, because a lot of students have the competencies, but they're just not communicating them in a CV, so they're not getting past screening. You know, they're getting screened out immediately.
What I'm saying is, you need to pay your own bills as well.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
There's 5 of you, so assuming you all don't live on bread and water alone, you're going to need to spend a certain amount of money. Have you thought about how much money you'd need to spend?
So we thought, it's not the simplest of website. There's a bit of, complexity in the algorithms behind the comparison.
Are there any semantic algorithms in there, or are you any of you guys from Insight, for example?
I have a data analyst background myself. I've done a bit of programming. We've done programming ourselves. Andrew's done design, so we know how to build the logic for that, or we could work through the logic. We're not full-time developers, but I've worked with outsourcing to India and other countries and getting these things built. I put together an estimate for developing it, and we're looking at in the region of 30 to 40k to get the first product out there, a quality product with a good user interface. And then in turn there'll be ongoing costs of hosting that'll be around 200 a month, and various marketing.
So I think the question I want to do is, on one hand you're going to make a product, but someone else has to